So the most surprising lesson that I've learned about building a career around your passion is that working too hard can be just as bad as not working hard enough. And you're probably thinking this is bull, but let me explain myself. At least giving me the opportunity to explain myself, man. I think I've earned that. Don't we go back far enough? If you're new here, I am Dr. Marcus Norris. I am a composer. I am a producer. I scored Lady in the Lake for Apple TV. I am the founder of Southside Symphony. I worked with Andra Day, Beyonce, and a bunch of other people. I am a full-time creative. Music is my passion since I was a little boy, and I've been making beats since I was like 13 years old. And I am now, wow, 33, so 20 years later, and I'm still making music. It's my full-time career. I don't have a side hustle or something that pays my bills. I do YouTube as a hobby. I love it. I love talking to you about these things. I'm just getting those credentials out of the way so that you can know that, like, who is this guy, and why should I listen to anything he says? I think you should be that skeptical these days. Anyway, so why do I say that working too hard can be as bad as not working hard enough? The premise of this argument is that, like, for me and what I've observed, the biggest variable under your control that decides whether or not you'll be successful, whether or not you'll have a career in whatever your passion may be, is longevity. How long can you play the game? How long can you keep taking shots? Quite frankly, if you get burnt out, then you're out of the game. Like, so for example, so many people want to live in LA. It's so many people's dream to move to LA, to be an actor, to be a composer, to make music, to be whatever it may be. So many people move to LA and they kind of just go all out. And then most of those people end up going back home. And this isn't a failure on their part wholeheartedly. I don't think so. But what happens is a lot of these people get burnt out. And in a specific time in my life where I got burnt out, but thank God for therapy, it was around the time I was finishing grad school. So when I moved out to LA, I was like 26, 27. So while I was in grad school, I understood that it's like, okay, I need to be shooting my shot as many opportunities as possible. I'm not going to wait until after I graduate and then start trying to get my career because because I'm a musician, I'm a composer, and those aren't jobs that like the degree means something. Like, let me rephrase that. I'm not saying the degree doesn't mean something. It does mean something. You learned a lot, all these things. But I mean, as far as like getting hired for jobs, I've never once been like going for a job and they'd be like, well, let me see your degree, or where'd you get your degree? That's not how music works. That's not how the entertainment industry works. And so I recognized that even while I was in school, and I recognized that, like, hey, you have to make your career happen while you're still in school. And so I was scoring films. Before I graduated, I had already did like 2 or 3 feature films and was starting or about to start this new TV series. I think I was pitching on it on the first TV series I did. So I did like 3 features in the course of like a year or 2, which is a lot. I did an opera or 2. I did, a PhD dissertation. While I was in school, I started my fusion soul orchestra, Southside Symphony. So we were doing live performance. I was doing those orchestrations. I was doing the orchestrations for Adrian Dunn. I was the music director for Miss Tina Knowles, Wearable Art Gala, like all of these things while I'm in school. And I was just going so hard and grinding so much. And basically what happened, man, is I just completely burnt out. So creative jobs, especially ones that are like self-initiated or like if you're a freelancer of any sort, they aren't jobs that you clock out. And that sounds obvious, but what happens is like it creeps into all parts of your days. You never really have any downtime. You're thinking about it when you're in the shower. You're thinking about it when you're in bed at night, first thing in the morning. All your news feed is probably like starting to cater around your career. You know what I mean? You're getting industry news on Instagram and all of these things. And it ends up just like taking over your whole life. And for me, I burnt out hard. When I say like I got burnt out, I mean I burnt out hard. Like I ended up and there were also some personal things going on at the same time, but I ended up like getting rid of my apartment, selling my car, and just like traveling overseas for like 3 or 4 months straight. Eventually, when it was time for me to like pick up the pieces, I just kind of recognized that like, hey, I had been kind of working nonstop for basically 20 years since I was a kid. And it's just not sustainable. I will say there's an age factor in this too. Like, I didn't make up aging. I'm not an ageist or anything like that. I'm just acknowledging honestly and truly the realities of life. And when you're in your 20s, it's like you can go all in. Like I remember doing like all-nighters working on my creative projects, waking up and then going to school. You know what I mean? I physically cannot do that now in my 30s. I also think a big asterisk towards this too is like you have to be honest with yourself about like what season of your career are you? If you are just starting out, you kind of do need to go hard. If you are in your 20s, you're new to this, if you're a teenager, it's like the biggest asset you have is that energy. The biggest edge you have on me. When I'm saying me, I'm using myself as a stand-in for whatever your medium is, a relevant person who is like a professional, either like in their 30s or later. The biggest advantage you have over people like us is that like you have unlimited energy. You know what I mean? Like I can't. Like older people, they might have more resources, they might have a bigger network, they might, be known a little bit more, but you have unlimited energy, so you have to use that. But like if you're a little later, then it's like now the name of the game is longevity. How do you stay in this race? You cannot sprint your way through a marathon, right? You'll give out in the first I don't do marathons. I don't know how long marathons are, but say first couple miles, you have to pace yourself because or think about it like a lottery. If you were trying to win a lottery, which I don't recommend you play the lottery, it's just throwing money away. But if you were trying to play the lottery and trying to win, would it be wise to just like, I'm going to spend all my money today? No, it's like you want to like keep going every day. Like, okay, if the tickets were free, it's like I want to show up every day and get my ticket for my chance to win. And it's a good analogy because like there's a lot of luck involved in getting a career as a creative in whatever medium. And a lot of people on the internet won't tell you, especially if they are successful. They'll want to be like, yeah, I did it by myself. I deserve everything. I'm the best. And it's like, I'm going to tell you, like, I know I was blessed. I know I had luck in my life, but I did show up every day to buy that ticket. You know what I mean? And so the biggest thing under your control is like, how often do you show up for that ticket? And so if you get burnt out, then you can't show up, or you crap out completely. You know what I mean? Another analogy is like playing blackjack at a casino. It's like, I am not a big gambler, but it's like if I do go with my homies or something and we're trying to have a good time, it's like I like to do the cheap tables because like we get to play longer. That's probably even a better analogy than than the lottery thing, to be honest. So it's like the best way for you to win is like, how can you play longer? If any of this was helpful, leave a comment, let me know. If it wasn't helpful, leave a comment, let me know. If you have any questions or things that you'd like me to talk about or unpack, I'd be happy to. That's my whole reason I'm here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.